Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. This retreat has probably exhausted a great amount of time. Xiaoyang lifted his head and looked all across the sky that was permeated with fire. Although this environment appeared the same as when he had undertaken his retreat, he was still able to sense a difference. Zun by the side gently nodded. The purifying demonic lotus flame was not an ordinary thing. If they did not have time, even the two of them together would not have been able to refine it. Xiaoyang is likely quite powerful now, no? Zun rolled her eyes as she wondered out loud with a smile. It will not be difficult to defeat the chief of the Hall of Souls the next time I meet him. Xiaoyang slightly smiled. His voice relayed an extreme confidence. The benefits he had obtained from refining the purifying demonic lotus flame were incomparable. Based on his senses, his strength should have reached the initial level of the 5th star of the Doshing class. This was a leap of 3 stars when compared to his intermediate 2-star Doshing strength before he had taken the retreat. This great leap in strength caused even Xiaoyang to feel some disbelief earlier. Being an elite Doshing, he was clearly aware of just how difficult it was to raise one's level within the Doshing class. This increase of 3 stars would have required decades of training under normal circumstances. This time around, he had used the purifying demonic lotus flame to advance his strength. Around the entire world, the only spiritual object with the unbelievable ability to allow an elite Doshing's strength to soar by 3 stars was likely just this 3rd-ranked heavenly flame. It is said that when a person reaches the top, all those around him will also ascend with him. This time around, thanks to Xiaoyang my strength has also ended up increasing a bunch. Zun softly laughed. During the refining process of the purifying demonic lotus flame, bits of the vast and mighty energy had also entered her body. Hence, she had also benefited. Although she had yet to break through to the 5th star of the Doshing class, she had soared to the advanced level of the 4th star of the Doshing class. It must be said that the gains that the both of them had attained during this retreat would cause others to be extremely envious. Xiaoyang was naturally happy that Zun's strength had soared. Although his strength might have ended up increasing more if he had absorbed the purifying demonic lotus flame alone, he knew he would have died from the backlash of the demonic flame had it not been for Zun's aid. How could he still be in his current state? I wonder what the current heavenly flame in my body. Xiaoyang's mind quickly returned to the most important matter. A thought immediately passed through his mind, but he was stunned to find that the heavenly flame, which had originally filled his body, had completely disappeared. This unexpected change caused Xiaoyang's expression to drop. The heavenly flame was something he relied on to survive. The disappearance of his heavenly flames would be a big blow to him. Xiaoyang what is it? Zun by the side hurriedly asked, after seeing the change in Xiaoyang's expression. Xiaoyang did not have the time to respond to her voice. He calmed down and carefully checked the interior of his body. Only after a long while did he suddenly detect something vaguely present deep within his body. Come out. Xiaoyang suddenly clenched his hand after sensing this thing. He let out a low cry and a pink-colored flame suddenly erupted from his palm. There seemed to be a faint golden light flowing around the edges of the flame like a metallic object. The appearance of this cluster of pink flames caused the surrounding air to distort. Then, the cluster suddenly began to wiggle. It subsequently transformed into a half-foot-tall baby in front of Xiaoyang's and Zun's stunned eyes. Yewa. The tiny fire baby's large eyes contained a pink flame, and they landed on Xiaoyang the moment the baby appeared. After which, it extended its flabby little hand and grabbed Xiaoyang's arm. The baby continuously rubbed Xiaoyang, appearing exceptionally affectionate. Xiaoyang and Zun were completely stunned as they stared at the fire baby, which was not very large. It was only a little bigger than an arm. At a glance, it was like a flabby little round ball. A braid was present on its little head, while a small little cloth wrapped around the front of its body, leaving its buttocks visible. There was a pink lotus fire seal imprinted on its little head. At a glance, it appeared extremely cute. At the very least, there was a glitter flashing in Xuna's pretty eyes. It appeared as though she was being flooded with maternal love. Yewa. The fire baby grabbed Xiaoyang's hand and swung it while Xiaoyang and Xuna were stunned by this unexpected situation. A tender and strange sound was emitted from the baby's mouth. What is happening? Xiaoyang finally recovered at this moment. He looked at the fire baby, who refused to release his arm, and asked in a lost voice. Xuna merely shook her head when she heard his clueless question. She hesitated for a moment before saying, "Could it be that this is the new flame in your body after merging so many heavenly flames?" If the purifying demonic lotus flame was added, Xiaoyang possessed a total of 6 types of heavenly flames within his body. No one could be certain just what kind of change would occur when 6 types of heavenly flames were merged together. After all, no one in this world had tried merging 6 types of heavenly flames as an experiment. Xiaoyang fell deep into thought upon hearing her answer. His eyes returned to the flabby fire baby on his arm as he involuntarily pinched it. The baby's soft and smooth skin caused Xiaoyang to realize that this fire baby felt like an actual baby. The feeling of the fire baby's skin was exactly the same as a human. Moreover, he sensed that he seemed to possess a strange connection with this little thing whenever he touched it. That familiar feeling was exactly the same as when he had controlled the heavenly flame within his body in the past. This thing is really the heavenly flame within my body. Xiaoyang nodded with a solemn expression at this moment. He was certain that this fire baby was the new heavenly flame formed after merging the purifying demonic lotus flame, but even he was at a loss as to why such a change would occur. I sense a familiar feeling from this little thing. It seems similar to my gold emperor incinerating heavenly flame, Xuna softly commented at this moment. Your gold emperor incinerating heavenly flame joined the refinement of the purifying demonic lotus flame. Thus, some of the essence of the gold emperor incinerating heavenly flame has merged into my body, Xiaoyang explained. His eyes continued to remain on the fire baby on his arm. The baby had a braid on his head. The 5 types of heavenly flames within his body had completely merged with the purifying demonic lotus flame. Of course, if one wanted to be more exact, one should say that his 5 heavenly flames had merged into the purifying demonic lotus flame. Although the 5 types of heavenly flames were larger in number, this number did not pose any resistance to the purifying demonic lotus flame, so they were completely merged into the purifying demonic lotus flame. If Xiaoyang had not already activated the flame mantra and refined the demonic flame, he would likely have tasted a far worse ending while trying to gain something. Ha ha, Xiaoyang Ge. I once heard father said that only an extremely few heavenly flames are able to take shape after being refined by a person. If I have guessed correctly, this should be the newly formed heavenly flame fire spirit within your body, Xuna smiled as she spoke. From the looks of it, this did not appear to be something bad. Xiaoyang slightly nodded. He seemed to have recalled something and the corner of his mouth twitched. He asked, in that case, how will I unleash the angry Buddha lotus flame when fighting with others in the future? He had examined his body earlier, and the heavenly flame that had come wherever he caught it had completely vanished. What would he use to agglomerate a fire lotus to fight with others? Yewa. The big eyes of the little thing that was hugging his hand and dripping saliva brightened upon hearing Xiaoyang's words. He lifted his little hand and a fire gathered on his palm. A fire lotus was quickly formed. Angry Buddha lotus flame. Xiaoyang's eyes were about to pop out of his head seeing this fire lotus form. The angry Buddha lotus flame was a skill that he had created. Other than him, no one else was able to unleash it, yet this little thing was randomly able to create it, and at a speed that even its creator, Xiaoyang, could not match. This little thing has even secretly learned your Do skill. Xuna covered her mouth and softly laughed. Yewa. Pride surfaced on the little thing's small tender face, after having sensed Xiaoyang's shock. 2 small hands were clenched and then released before many 2-colored angry Buddha lotus flames formed above his palm. After which, they floated around him and continued to rotate. 10 angry Buddha lotus flames. Xiaoyang inhaled a deep breath of air after seeing these lotuses. Even he had never successfully created 10 angry Buddha lotus flames together. Although these fire lotuses were only created from 2 types of heavenly flames, the strength of such a number of them would be incredible. Uwa. However, Xiaoyang's shock did not end. After forming the 10 angry Buddha lotus flames, the little thing beckoned with his hand, and the 10 fire lotus suddenly clashed together before swiftly merging. Within a short instant, a fire lotus that caused both Xiaoyang's and Zunna's expressions to change rose from the clash. Xiaoyang's heart felt as though it had violently been grabbed as he stared at the half-foot-wide pink fire lotus, which appeared delicate and beautiful. Even his breathing had become a little difficult. Extermination. Fire lotus. Xiaoyang inhaled a breath of air as he softly muttered. The fire lotus created by the fire baby was his strongest trump card, the extermination fire lotus, but the strength of this fire lotus was many times more terrifying than any type of fire lotus Xiaoyang had ever created in the past. This time around, I have really picked up a treasure. A fire baby that could unleash the extermination lotus flame. Xiaoyang naturally understood what this meant within his heart. He would no longer need someone to help delay his opponent during a fight in the future. As long as he thought about it, this little thing would be able to create the fire lotus extremely quick. This fire baby will become Xiaoyang's biggest aid. Xiaoyang and Zun exchanged glances. They could see some joy in the other party's eyes. Clearly, the evolution of the heavenly flame had exceeded their expectations. Yewa. The little thing played with the extermination fire lotus that was floating around his body. After which, the baby widened his mouth and swallowed the fire lotus, before once again extending his flabby little hand to hug Xiaoyang's arm. He began to rub it again. By relying on the strange feeling he felt, he appeared just like a small pet, which viewed Xiaoyang as its closest kin. Xiaoyang smiled as he observed this fire baby. His hand gently rubbed the baby's small head. The baby narrowed his eyes in comfort, and continued to cry out joyously. Xiaoyang softly laughed upon witnessing this reaction. Although the heavenly flame had morphed into this mysterious form, it was fortunate that Xiaoyang was still able to control it. This little thing would immediately carry out his order as long as he gave it a thought. From a certain point of view, there was merely an additional intermediary between Xiaoyang and the heavenly flame. Moreover, this mediator was able to unleash the full might of Xiaoyang's heavenly flame. This thing seems to possess an intelligence. There will be a lot of room for development in the future. Perhaps we should give him a name. Zunna smiled and revealed her thoughts. Yewa. The fire baby rubbing Xiaoyang's arm quickly lifted its head, appearing as though it understood Zunna's words. Those large eyes contained some anticipation, as they stared at Xiaoyang, while his mouth emitted a tender, yewa sound. Name, since it likes to cry out yewa, I'll call it Little Yi. Xiaoyang spread his hands and randomly gave the baby a name. Yewa. The fire baby immediately became dejected once he heard the name Xiaoyang randomly choose. His mouth cried out Yewa in protest, but Xiaoyang merely laughed when he heard this objection before saying, Little Yi, quickly go back. We are about to leave this place. Little Yi could only dejectedly lay against Xiaoyang's hand after hearing that this matter had been settled by Xiaoyang. After which, his body turned into a cluster of pink flames that returned to Xiaoyang's body. You even body a little child. Zunna helplessly shook her head and chided. Ha ha, Xiaoyang laughed. He lifted his head to look at this realm, which was filled with flames. He said, it is time to leave. Zunna slightly nodded. Their training had spent quite a bit of time. The clan was probably about to turn upside down. Zunna. Xiaoyang suddenly lowered his head. His eyes were extremely gentle as they caressed the beauty in front of him. Zunna's face immediately became flushed beneath his boiling hot eyes. She lowered her head and softly asked, what is it? I will find a time to head to the Jiyu clan to propose marriage once we return. We will hold a big wedding after I rescue my father. What do you say? Zun Er's delicate figure trembled. Her exquisite face revealed her embarrassment, but her eyes were filled with excitement and happiness. She had waited many years for this day and this sentence. Fortunately, her heart was still leaping like a little deer from how excited and anxious she was after hearing it now. Yes. Xiaoyang involuntarily laughed out loud as he looked at the beautiful figure nodding her head with a flushed face. With his current strength, he could head anywhere he wanted in the world. He need not even fear an ancient clan with a long inheritance like the Jiyu clan, because that trash from the Xiao clan had become a peak existence of this world. Let's go. Xiaoyang extended his hand and wrapped around Zunna's soft, delicate, seemingly boneless waist, pulling her into his embrace. His other hand ripped through the space in front of him as a pink flame surfaced on his finger. He pointed his finger, and this space, which had caused many five-star Doshing to feel helpless, was forcefully split, forming an enormous crack line. Xiaoyang hugged Zunna closer and stepped into it without hesitating. His body swayed, and he disappeared along with that spatial crack. This demonic flame realm finally became completely silent after Xiaoyang and Zunna left. This realm would also never appear again in the future. It would gradually be forgotten in the long river of time. The demonic flame plains was a lush green mountain range 2 years ago, but it had turned into white plains 2 years ago. Many 10,000-foot-long cracks spread across the plains like enormous centipedes. Waves of great heat rose from the depths of these cracks, resulting in this region appearing unusually dry. These plains had been created after the purifying demonic lotus flame had descended 2 years ago. The many mountains in this region had turned into nothing in an instant while the land had transformed into lava. However, when the demonic flame realm subsequently closed, the lava in this region had gradually solidified. Finally, the land turned into the plains that could be seen today. Based on common sense, the land where the demonic flame had raged would remain extremely desolated, but a group of adventuring mercenaries had discovered a mysterious crystal that was filled with wild and violent fire affinity energy in these plains, causing this land to become extremely lively. The individual crystals that were filled with a wild and violent fire affinity energy were called demonic flame rock, because these crystals seemed to possess an extremely faint trace of remains from the demonic flame. Although this lingering demonic flame had been diluted thousands of times over, it was still an absolute treasure for those who practiced fire affinity Do Qi and alchemists. As long as one was able to absorb the energy within these demonic flame rock, one's Do Qi would not only become stronger, even the flame that an alchemist summoned would also grow more powerful than before. Hence, these plains had attracted many factions, who had established territories and began to mine the demonic flame rocks 2 years ago. The Sky Mansion Alliance was naturally one of these factions. Moreover, the area they occupied was the spot within the plains packed with the richest veins of demonic flame rocks. With the strength of the current alliance, no one would dare to do anything foolish even if they felt jealous. Any place the Sky Mansion Alliance went meant that the Hall of Souls was close by. This had basically become common sense known by everyone within the Central Plains. The two big factions had fought an unusually heated war during these 2 years. A fight would definitely break out when both parties met. Hence, soon after the alliance had spread to the demonic flame plains, the Hall of Souls had established a branch hall there as well. Some of those factions, who were greedy for the demonic flame rocks, but did not dare to oppose the Sky Mansion Alliance alone, quietly joined the Hall of Souls. During this past year, the Hall of Souls had exchanged blows with the Alliance's troops stationed in this land time and time again. Although both parties had suffered losses and injuries, the demonic flame rocks that they had obtained also allowed them to taste the reason they stayed. Hence, the Hall of Souls and the Sky Mansion Alliance skirmished within the demonic flame plains every 3 days, and fought a larger battle every 5 days, causing this region to appear extremely lively. Clang! 2 heavy swords surrounded by powerful Do Qi violently clashed against each other, forcing Parks to shoot away. One of the swords clearly appeared weaker than the other. The sword owner's body was forced back dozens of steps. His face paled and a mouthful of blood was spat out, but he did not bother about his injuries. His eyes swiftly swept around him, and his eyes became bright red, after seeing the seriously injured brothers. TSK, Commander Liu, hand over the demonic flame rocks. We have been monitoring you for over half a month. That human figure, who had wounded the other man with his sword, stepped through the empty air and strangely laughed. He was wearing black robes. From the looks of the badge on his chest, it seemed like this person was someone from the Hall of Souls. Commander, you should hurry and leave. Those demonic flame rocks are resources that our Xian unit dug up while risking our lives for a month in order to obtain. They must not land in the hands of these people from the Hall of Souls. A blood-covered man some distance away roared out. However, his roar had only just sounded when a long sword penetrated him from behind, preventing him from uttering those last few words. A group of fools from the Sky Mansion Alliance dares to mine for the demonic flame rocks in the territory of my Hall of Souls. You are seeking death. A dark, cold laugh was emitted from around them. The rushing sound of wind appeared and many black figures materialized in the sky above, surrounding those dozens of blood-covered individuals. The man called Commander Liu revealed a completely pale face upon seeing these figures. The Sky Mansion Alliance does not possess any cowards. Commander, we will cover your escape. As long as you turn over these demonic flame rocks to the superiors, we will be able to become Inner Alliance disciples. Those dozens of human figures surrounding Commander Liu roared in low voices. They appeared just like ferocious wolves that had been forced into a corner as they prepared for an all-out fight. Hearing this, the hand holding Commander Liu's weapon trembled. He touched a bag near his chest. There were 10 storage rings there, each filled with demonic flame rocks. This was what their section had obtained after searching for months and risking their lives. If they were able to successfully bring them back to the Alliance, everyone in their section would be raised to an Inner Alliance disciple. At that time, their positions would be completely different. However, their current state had caused everyone's excited moods to turn icy cold. They would definitely have to pay an extremely terrible price if they wished to break free of this encirclement with their strength. Brothers, we have all survived many battles all the way here. There are good days waiting for us after this. Therefore, pick up your weapons and charge with me. Commander Liu swung his heavy sword and cried out with a ferocious voice. After which, he took the lead to charge forward. Charge! Those dozens of individuals began to pant heavily after hearing this command. After which, their eyes reddened as they charged toward the encirclement. Kill all of them. Hang up their heads and deliver them to the Sky Mansion Alliance. A shady-looking elder indifferently glanced at these stubbornly resisting individuals from the air while he spoke in a faint voice. Understood. A man behind the elder revealed a sinister expression as he respectfully replied. He was about to take a step forward when he discovered that his body had suddenly stilled. This man reacted quickly. He hurriedly turned his head to look at the old man with the highest status, but all he saw was that indifferent-looking elder's head fly off without a reason. Blood shot into the sky like a pillar, hanging heads and delivering them to the Sky Mansion. The current Hall of Souls appears quite bold. The space behind the headless old man slowly fluctuated under the shocked eyes of the man. A man and a woman slowly appeared. Protector Mo. This sudden unexpected occurrence had caused everyone to halt. Those figures of the Hall of Souls contained a dense fear as they looked at the headless corpse. Fresh blood shot out of it while a bloody head fell from the sky and rolled a couple of times on the ground. The expression on the head still retained the dark expression from before his death. This caused many to tremble despite not feeling cold. You, who are you? This is the territory of the Hall of Souls. That frozen man, whose position seemed to be much higher than the others, glanced at the two figures that had appeared in the air with a frightened expression. He suddenly cried out sternly a moment later. It seemed like he was planning to use this method to swallow the fear within his heart. The limbs of the Hall of Souls have actually extended this far, her. The man's and woman's figures gradually solidified in the sky. Surprisingly, they were Xiaoyang and Zun who had broken out of the demonic flame realm. Xiaoyang's eyes glanced at the dozens of black-clothed individuals from the Hall of Souls. A chill was surging within his dark black eyes. The chill that surged within Xiaoyang's eyes caused the man's limbs to turn icy. Even the Do Qi within his body seemed to have solidified at this moment. The other party was able to randomly kill Protector Mo, a 5-star Do Zone. It was likely extremely easy for him to deal with the rest of them. He is too strong, withdraw. The man acted decisively after this thought flashed through his heart. He did not utter anything unnecessary as his body pulled back. He only cried out loud after withdrawing 100 steps. The remaining individuals revealed a different expression after seeing that man turn around and flee. They ignored Commander Liu's group as they turned around and fled like mice. Commander Li quickly sighed in relief after seeing them run. The feeling of surviving a calamity caused the members of his group to feel as though they were about to collapse from exhaustion. How can it be so easy to leave after you have killed so many people? It is not easy to kill someone from the Sky Mansion. Xiaoyang's eyes glanced over those black figures fleeing in random directions with indifferent eyes. He gently pressed his foot against the air beneath him before an invisible ripple spread with lightning-like speed. After this invisible ripple spread, those dozens of fleeing individuals suddenly stilled. After which, their heads flew toward the sky, a pillar of blood accompanying them. Finally, they landed on the ground with throbs. Fresh blood dyed the ground until it appeared extremely bloody. A chill rose into the hearts of Commander Liu's group upon seeing this act. They were unable to see just how Xiaoyang had attacked. Those experts from the Hall of Souls, whose strengths had far surpassed theirs, had all become headless corpses. Elder, thank you for rescuing us. We are from the third large unit of the Outer Alliance of the Sky Mansion Alliance, the Xian unit. We will not forget the favor you have done us by rescuing our lives. Commander Liu was an intelligent person. He swiftly suppressed the fear within his heart and respectfully bowed to the two individuals in the air. Although these two appeared extremely young, this was a world where the strong were honored. The ability to kill an elite Do Zone with ease was enough to address him as an elder. Outer Alliance. Xiaoyang felt a little surprised after hearing this person's words. It seemed that the Sky Mansion Alliance had significantly developed during these years. Distribute these medicinal pills. Those who still have a breath left will likely not die. Xiaoyang flicked his finger. A jade bottle landed in the hands of Commander Liu. Commander Liu grabbed it, and his eyes immediately widened. The medicinal pills within the jade bottle were all filled with a dense spirituality. The medicinal fragrance that trickled out of them was something that even the highest tier pill they had come across, a tier 6 medicinal pill, could not compare with. I wonder about the background of this elder. He is actually so generous. Even if all of us were to sell ourselves, our worth would not even compare to one of these medicinal pills. Commander Liu trembled as he held this jade bottle. He hurriedly took out the medicinal pills and distributed them to his seriously injured brothers. After which, he led a couple of core members from the unit to the man and woman, who had landed from the air, in a frightened manner. Tell me about what has happened ever since the demonic flame realm had shut back then. Xiaoyang randomly gave an order after landing. Understood. Commander Liu respectfully replied after hearing this command. He was an intelligent person, and knew what he should or should not ask. Hence, after arranging his thoughts, he summarized the big events that he knew had occurred within the Central Plains during the last 2 years. The few of them continued to secretly observe the young man in front of them as they spoke. They vaguely felt as though this person appeared a little familiar for some unknown reason. The Shi clan has vanished. Xiaoyang nodded as he heard about the various events that had occurred across the Central Plains during the last 2 years. Both Xiaoyang's and Zun's expression drastically changed after Commander Liu mentioned that the Shi clan had mysteriously vanished. That's right, the way the Shi clan disappeared is the same way the Ling clan did. However, such an occurrence has not happened since this occurred 1 year ago. It might be due to the 3 ancient clans forming an alliance, Commander Liu explained. How unexpected. There have been so many changes during these 2 years. Xiaoyang's expression was grave as he softly muttered to himself. Within 2 short years, the Sky Mansion and the Hall of Souls had begun an all-out war, the Shi clan had vanished, and the three clans had formed an alliance. These earth-shaking events had all gathered together. It was really an extraordinary lively period in time. This elder. Commander Liu's eyes swept around him after Xiaoyang started to ponder the news he had obtained. Commander Liu hesitated for a moment before carefully opening his mouth to say, "There is a branch hall of the Hall of Souls a short distance from here. It is possible for them to detect the death of a protector. Hence, we should hurry up and leave. The Hall of Souls branch hall within the demonic flame plains is very strong. There is even an elite Do Xing from the Hun clan guarding it. Many of the experts from our Sky Mansion alliance have died to the hands of that Do Xing during this 2-year war." "Oh? How many stars is this Do Xing?" Xiaoyang lifted his brows and asked upon hearing this information. 1 star, although Commander Liu did not understand why Xiaoyang had asked this question, he gave an honest reply. An expert of that level merely existed in legends to them. 1 star, her. Xiaoyang fondled his chin and slightly nodded. Commander Liu and the others felt a slight joy upon seeing him nod. They thought that had convinced this elder to leave when they were stunned by his next words. "You know where it is, right? Bring me to that branch hall." Everyone became quiet as they looked at the smiling young man in front of them. Commander Liu's lips began to tremble. This Hall of Souls branch hall had been viewed by them as a frightening forbidden ground. Everyone normally kept themselves far from that region. Who had ever thought of going to it? "Let's go." Xiaoyang merely smiled as they remained silent. He placed his hand on Commander Liu's shoulder. Before Commander Liu could speak, space fluctuated and the three of them disappeared. The other members of the unit displayed pale faces once those three disappeared. Heading to the Hall of Souls branch hall was seeking death. "It is over this time around." A member of the unit revealed a depressed expression. They had managed to retain their lives after much difficulty, yet they were going to deliver themselves to death now. "What should we do?" "Don't panic. That elder does not appear to be an ordinary person. There is an elite Do Xing present in that branch hall. Regardless of how strong that elder is, he is still very young. How can he be a match for that old demon?" But this large group of people faced each other. They finally became dispirited after a discussion. Space itself once again fluctuated while everyone was quiet. 3 figures quickly appeared. It was Xiaoyang and the other 2, who had only been gone for less than 10 minutes. "Commander." Everyone rejoiced after verifying that the 3 of them were alive. They hurriedly swarmed forward. However, Commander Liu merely looked around with a dull expression as everyone swarmed over. No one who had witnessed a legendary old demon Do Xing randomly turn into mincemeat by a random strike from this young man would be able to remain calm. "Commander, is the old demon absent from the branch hall?" Commander Liu finally recovered after hearing the slight sounds around him. He shook his head as he suddenly said, "In the future, the Hall of Souls branch hall will cease to exist within the demonic flame plains. The renowned Saint Hun Qing will also disappear." Everyone was startled upon hearing this news before they suddenly recovered. Soon after, disbelief appeared in their eyes. A branch hall belonging to the Hall of Souls had actually ceased to exist within a short couple of minutes. "Let's go." Xiaoyang smiled after seeing the comical expressions on these people's faces. He turned around, stepped through empty space, and slowly headed into the distance. "Go and find the person in charge of this region once you return. In the future, you will all be DI class members of the Inner Sky Mansion Alliance." Everyone present trembled slightly after hearing the faint voice that spread. The members of the Inner Sky Mansion Alliance were divided into Tian, Di, Xian and Huang. Even though their contributions this time around would be quite great, they would at the very most become Inner Alliance Huang members. There was a great distance to reach the DI class. How could one sentence from this person? "Elder, may we know your name?" Commander Liu was startled. He suddenly knelt down and cried out in a respectful voice. "Tell them that Xiaoyang has asked all of you to find him." A soft laugh was transmitted along with the wind before a voice slowly echoed by everyone's ears. Xiao. Xiaoyang. Everyone suddenly lifted their heads. Their eyes were shocked as they stared at the blurry figure, who was stepping through the air, until the figure vanished. It was a long while later before a voice, which was trembling due to excitement, appeared. He is actually the Junior Alliance chief. This video will end here.